A strengths-based positive psychology intervention for anxiety in childhood. The aim of this presentation is to propose a strengths-based positive psychology intervention for anxiety-related disorders within children. The purpose of this intervention is to reduce the significant personal and social impact that anxiety has on the Australian population. Anxiety has the highest prevalence in adults and second highest in children and causes significant impacts on various aspects of their lives, including social, family, recreational, and educational. A strengths-based positive psychology intervention can help improve the quality of life and life outcomes. This presentation will examine anxiety, including the experience, effects, prevalence, factors, and current popular treatment methods. The modern perspective of positive psychology, especially that of strengths-based, will be explored as a new contributor to the understanding of increasing people's well-being, experience of positive effect, problem-solving, and coping skills. Due to these factors, a strengths-based psychotherapy as an intervention for childhood anxiety will be proposed. Anxiety includes psychological, cognitive, and behavioural mechanisms. It can cause distress and have negative impacts, causing significant impairments or disability. People with anxiety are more likely to experience another form of mental illness, as well as have adverse experiences within the health, education, employment, or social settings. Anxiety also has a high economic cost, especially to the public health, social welfare, insurance, and employment industries. Anxiety has long maintained the highest prevalence of mental health within the Australian population. In 2018, 13.1% of the Australian adult population had an anxiety-related disorder. For Australian children aged 4 to 17 years, anxiety was the second highest disorder at 6.9%, closely behind ADHD, which was 7.4%. Youth with high anxiety experience increased levels of distress, distorted cognitions, negative self-concept, and a lower quality of life. There are a number of contributing factors to anxiety. Socioeconomic key descriptors include step or blended families, low income, education levels of parents, employment status of parents, and living outside of a capital city. However, regardless of demographics, parental psychopathology, as well as the interaction of a parent and child, are significant contributors to the anxiety symptomology. Additionally, high levels of withdrawn or inhibited behaviours, as well as early temperamental signs, including worry, poor coping skills, and negative affect, are also linked. Cognitive behavioural therapy has been considered the most empirically endorsed and effective treatment for anxiety-related disorders within both adults and children. This is supported by the widespread use of coping cat for children, which has shown significant empirical effectiveness in decreasing anxiety. Coping and promoting strengths, which involves strengths-based CBT, has also shown significant and a large effect. However, this program is designed and tailored for children of a parent with anxiety, so may not be suited to all. Positive psychology. Positive psychology is defined as an overarching term for the study of positive emotions and character traits, as well as the institutions that enable them. People with higher positive emotions have been shown to think about problems in novel ways, performing better on tests, and decrease the negative physiological effects of stress on the cardiovascular system. Positive psychotherapy integrates an individual's existing strengths and resources as an effective measure to reduce negative symptoms. Strengths-based psychology proposes that there are 24 character strengths. Individuals review these strengths without their names labels on them and pick the 5 that most appropriately describe themselves. These are said to be their signature strengths. An understanding of the signature strengths can be used to develop the child's resilience, problem solving and coping skills, as well as linked to improving their general social and emotional development. Engaging parents and caregivers and other key support people can help to support the ongoing use and development of the personalised strengths. This is seen to promote asset building and develop resilience in the child and the family. The use and development of strengths has been found to be a buffer against stress and psychological problems and positively correlated to subjective well-being, self-esteem and self-efficacy. Changing the view of psychological interventions from deficit focus to strengths based can provide longer-term positive outcomes, building on the existing assets a child has rather than telling a child that they need to change. It assists with goal setting and motivates change in behaviour and increases engagement. Developing these strengths and goals is also linked to optimism, which is linked to the decrease of anxiety symptoms. The intervention. The intervention program will be aimed at at-risk school children that have key indicators within the parents' psychopathology, socio-economic demographic factors, their negative effect, or individual personal traits. As teachers accounted for 40% of referrals in a national mental health and behavioural survey, schools are well placed to deliver such a program. The program can be supported and run by the Student Support Services, which includes qualified psychologists that would be trained to deliver and implement this intervention. Prior to the intervention, the child and anxiety-related emotion disorder, or Sacred 41, would be used to measure the child's anxiety scores. The intervention will involve 5 stages. The initial stage will be identifying the strengths of the child using the values in action measure. Stage 2 will be about fostering positive emotions and respecting negative memories. Stage 3 is promoting and enhancing positive relations. This involves setting goals and identifying how the signature strengths can be used to reach these goals. Stage 4 is the parent education section. This may also involve teachers and other key personnel within the child's life, teaching them how the signature strengths can be used and promoted in the child's development to promote pro-social behaviours. Stage 5 is a booster section. This is a check-in where research has shown that 6 months post-treatment, the effects do tend to decrease slightly. Using a booster stage, this will assist the child in reviewing how their signature strengths have been used and how they may be better used in the future. A post-intervention measure through Sacred 41 will be administered. This will measure whether any outcomes have been reached and assist with the project's evaluation. The following limitations have been identified for this intervention program. They include parents' buy-in, which is seen as an integral part of making any child-focused intervention work. The training of facilitators would be of an economic and time cost and would need support from the Department of Education. Additionally, positive psychology and strengths-based psychology is still a new language that society, parents, children, teachers, and even some psychologists are still unfamiliar with. This may hinder the buy-in from some of these key personnel. The reference list.